Alrighty, everybody. What is up, everyone? Good to see y'all back here for another live stream here. We are picking up where we left off. We do have a bit of that winter storm still continuing. I told you guys we were going to hop on and do a little bit of live coverage tonight, which I was definitely planning to do with y'all. But hope everyone's been doing good, staying safe and all that fun stuff. And it's been a pretty good storm from what it looks like. Out here we've been seeing a pretty good amount of snowfall and stuff like that. And the snow is still going on here across portions of North and South Carolina. We still do get a little bit of heavy snow and some strong winds going on here. Things are definitely still kicking up here pretty good. But anyway, so we have Rose here. I don't know if Rose is still here or not, but Rose was here earlier. So welcome, Rose. Good to see you. Of course, welcome everybody who is just now joining. It is so good to see you guys here back again for another update. We're going to give it a second here to load. Is everything running good? I just want to make sure. I wonder why the radar's not wanting to load here. That's just lovely. Here, maybe we'll turn off pressure for a minute. You know what? Of course it loaded right as I closed it. That's just how it goes. All right, let me load this up again. Maybe we'll get it to work now. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it took a minute. I don't know what's going on with it. But anyways, yep, you can still see we do have, here's the current radar view. We still do have a lot of snow out by North Carolina. It looks like, central North Carolina here out by Raleigh is finally getting a bit of snow. We were seeing a bit of dry air out there earlier, which was kind of limiting to how much snow they were going to be seeing here. But looks like Raleigh is snowing pretty good out there. Fayetteville, Sanford, Durham, Asheboro. Looks like we got some snow out in those regions here. We have Wilmington, Oak Island. Let's see here. Jacksonville, Washington, Greenville, Kingston, Elizabeth City, Kill Devil Hills. So some of those areas are still seeing some pretty heavy, or all those areas are still seeing some heavy snow. But anyways, what's up, D? Saying hi, Andrew. What's up? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing good. It's good to see you. But anyway, so like I said, we definitely do have some pretty. Here, let's go ahead and actually close some of these tabs. I feel like there's a lot of tabs open, and I don't think my computer's liking it very much. So let's see if we can close maybe some of these. Maybe it'll make it run a little bit better, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't crash on us, knock on wood. But I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see, how is Aiken, South Carolina? Is that how you say that? Is it Aiken? Here, let's actually get rid of the pressure altogether here, too. Oh, yeah, that seems to make it a lot better. Well, let me pull up this area. Let's see what we got going on here. So you're in... Okay, so yeah, you have a winter storm warning. Additional accumulations up to 3 inches possible. Current radar doesn't show anything really going on. It looks like a couple snow showers. Why do I look pink right now? But yeah, a couple snow showers going on at the moment. What's up, Roadster? Say North Carolina really getting the snow dump tonight. Yeah, they are. They've been getting hit pretty darn good from the way it looks here. Definitely been seeing a lot of snow going on out there. You can see, like I said earlier, we had a little bit of dry air, as you could see. This was around 7 p.m. This evening. You can see that there was a lot of dry air kind of out by Wilmington, Lumberton, Fayetteville. But since we're back into heavy action here. But the low on this storm here, that pressure has dropped quite a bit. Has definitely dropped quite a bit here. Right now, according to the MRMS, so basically observations here, we have the pressure down to the lower 990s, which the system's still definitely strengthening. It still is absolutely picking up some strength and stuff like that. So it is, it's definitely still kicking, pretty good out there. So definitely gotta keep an eye on it, because it's still gonna be picking up some strength and all. Now for our folks up in Massachusetts, so there is a little bit of model support suggesting that we might actually see maybe some snowfall for portions of like Nantucket, just far eastern Massachusetts here, in general. It did show it as a possibility. But honestly, here, I'm going to go ahead and pause this thing behind me. Hold on 1 second, y'all. But honestly, I don't think you guys are really going to be seeing a whole lot, worth of snowfall out there. I don't think it's really going to be anything too extreme per se. But yeah, definitely there is definitely going to be that potential. D says is it Aiken? Oh, it's Aiken. Like, ouch, my back aching. Is that how you say it? I'm assuming that's how you say it, maybe. But anyways, all right, y'all. Let's hop over here to SAT. We're gonna take a moment to just switch on over here, show y'all where everything is at the moment. So right now, looking at satellite imagery, we have that low just off the Carolina coast here for the most part. Obviously we had that subtropical low, or sorry, that subtropical jet stream that brought some moisture across the Gulf, which the system just kind of sucked it all in here. So we definitely do have a pretty good amount of moisture associated here with this system. So I mean, it's definitely doing pretty good. Got some real heavy activity going up here, like we mentioned in eastern North Carolina. It looks like Virginia Beach area is definitely still snowing pretty darn good here as well. So, we got to make sure that we're staying safe out here. I am going to look at the current winds, so let's do that. We're going to pull up we're going to do RTMA, and we're going to hop over here to 10-meter wind speeds here. Roadster coming in with a 20, dude. Oh my goodness, Roadster with the $20 super chat saying, thanks for the coverage, Drew. You are very welcome, dude. Look at this. Shout out to this man right here, Roadster Jim. Thank you so much for the $20. Really appreciate it. That is really, really nice of you. That helps me out a ton. I really appreciate it. Roadster, thank you so much. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. But thank you so much, Roadster. That is really, really nice of you, my friend. You did not have to do such. You did not have to do that, my friend. You're awesome. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Once again, I can never say it enough, which I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much, Roadster. You are awesome, dude. Anyways, yeah, let's go and pull up these wind gusts here. Here, let's head on over here. We'll do surface. Let's do max accumulated wind gusts. Actually, we'll do the models first, and then we'll look at current wind speeds. Which total. Here, let's hop back to the 0 UTC. We'll do fill here, so we'll just let it all go through. So, the eastern side of North Carolina was expecting to see a good 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts out there by the eastern banks. Of North Carolina. Definitely seeing a pretty good amount worth of strong winds here. Now, as we go up the coast, like coastal New Jersey, good 30, 40 mile an hour wind gusts out there kind of by, New York City, just off out in the water there. Of course, then we go towards eastern Massachusetts. The winds could pick up a little bit out there by like Nantucket, maybe more 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And then, of course, we have our friends up to the north here for, Nova Scotia. We're going to get some pretty strong, pretty heavy snow and some, pretty strong winds here with the system. Like we mentioned, the system's continually strengthening. I mean, it's still, really popping up here in strength. The low is becoming more deeper. And, of course, we're still going to have a lot more snow be kind of wrapped up in the system here. But, yeah, I mean, Nova Scotia, they're kind of in the direct line of fire. So just a bit of a heads up for my folks out there. But if I was to bring up our wind gust panel here, once again, this is the HRRR, but you can kind of see now where the winds are, and how kind of strong we're talking about. Potential, around 40 mile an hour wind gusts possible for areas like Wilmington. Areas out there by like Kill Devil Hills, like we were talking about. The eastern banks here of North Carolina. Good 50. Maybe 60 mile per hour wind gusts here being a good possibility. So, and then of course out to sea, like we mentioned, still getting a lot of support here from the models. Not just the HRRR, but also like the Euro that we've been looking at here. Does show, a good possible 80, 90, even 100 plus mile an hour wind gusts out there, which is a big problem. And of course, that's a good reason why we need to, stay away from the waters out there. Let's actually hop over to GR2 panel here. I do want to look up north. So we got some MEDAR station data and all kinds of stuff like that. Extreme cold. Let's see, magnitude 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, that is really cold. Oh, it's wind chill. Okay. I was going to say, if that's actual temperatures, goodness. It's going to get cold tonight, y'all. I am not ready for this. So right now here in Central Florida, it's already 35 degrees. It is 35 degrees here in Lakeland, which is where I'm at. Dew point 20.4 degrees Fahrenheit. It is really cold. But we're supposed to get down to like, I think Central Florida, I think tonight we're supposed to get down to like 25 or something like that. It's It's going to be pretty darn chilly. But anyways, but yeah, here's the current radar view. We do got some pretty strong wind barbs out here. We got some buoy data. We got a 40-knot wind barb just off the coast of the the eastern banks here. We got a 45-knot wind barb over here near Marimillion. Or where did I get Marimillion? Marymont. I think that's how you say. Where did I get million from? Anyways, Morehead City, about a 40-knot wind barb we got out there too. So definitely got some strong winds. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported over there. 43 on that one. Let's see here. Any other ones? I mean, I'm sure they've been gusting a little bit higher today, but that's just the current observations right now. Looks like we reported about 10 inches of snow out by Greenville. Looks like that's how much we've seen so far. I can and I will bring up the National Weather Service's total snowfall. Let's see here. Let's see if they have that. Let's pull that up here. National Weather Service. Here we go. Yeah, let's bring this up here for a moment. Let's talk about this for a moment. All right, so we're gonna hop you all back over here. So this is from reports that have came in here. And let's see kind of what these look like. So it appears, let's see, Charlotte, it's picked up. We got some reports of about 9, maybe 10 inches or so out by Charlotte in some areas. Some of these have got to be, yeah, this is as of 1:50 p.m. So these higher ones are later or recent totals. Let's see, 10 inches or so out there by like Charlotte, which is pretty good. Wow, 15 inches over here. This is in Thomasville, North Carolina. 15.5 as of 7:30 p.m. Roadster says, always looking out for Drew. I really appreciate it. Protect our citrus in Florida. Yeah, pretty much all of Florida is getting below freezing temps tonight, which is just absolutely terrible. Here, let me bring you back over here, and which I can show you. So we do have all of these that you see. These are all freeze warnings. I mean, literally going down to like the Everglades of Florida, pretty much. I mean, it's ridiculous. Freeze warnings in effect. See, for this specific area, low temperatures as low as the upper 20s, lower 30s for these areas. Apparent temperatures low in the mid 20s. That's like feel like temp. Really, really cold stuff. And then of course, the further you go up north, like Orlando, I think tonight is supposed to get down to like 23 degrees. I mean, it's not very common that we really see that out here. Anyways, so let me hide this legend here for a moment. I got you. Anyway, so for eastern North Carolina, we do have a few areas where we've picked up actually over a foot. See, we got, what is that? Blount's Creek, is that how you say that? Blount's Creek, North Carolina, about 12 inches there. Got 12.3 out by Havelock, North Carolina. Looks like Wilmington is, Wilmington South down here. So this was as of, 10:54. Apparently Wilmington only has like a couple of inches out there. But anyways, I wanted to bring that up for a little bit, just so we can kind of talk about that. Why do I look purple now? Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, would it be better if I had this light on, maybe? I mean, it sucks, but I think it just might be my camera. I need to buy a new camera. I just think at this point, I need to get a better one. Does Drew have a winter closet? I do not. So we are cranking up the heat here. Which, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Y'all are probably like, 20 degrees? What? That's nothing. But, I mean, for us in Florida, we never get that. I mean, that's basically our, like, 0 degrees. You know, you're always like 0 degrees is, like, our 20s, essentially. So, I mean, it's, you get used to the warmer weather. And so it feels a lot more significant. Even though it's the same temperature, of course. But anyways, all right, let's bring back up our radar here. I do want to take a look back over here. So, I mean, you can also see that pressure there, too, what I have overlaid. If I remove the, the ISO bars here, I mean, you can just see the pressure in general. So the orange is representing that lower pressure here, just off the U.S. coast. And you can see that low is out there just off the coast of the North Carolina here. And, obviously a lot of the country now is, in the high pressure. I mean, out there by, like, St. Louis, pressure is like 1,035 right now. But like Ohio 1,027, Texas 1,035. So we got some pretty strong high pressure. Currently over the central U.S. But I mean, yeah, off the coast here, I mean, you can really see where that pressure dips quite a bit, which now it looks like on the latest, let's see, the RTMA analysis here, it looks like we're down to 988 millibars, which is quite an impressive low. Quite an impressive low. Let's see here, hats, gloves, beanies. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have much winter gear, to be honest with you. Really wouldn't think I'd need it down here, so I kind of got rid of a lot of it. Let's see, I do like the setup that you have. Well, thank you, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. But anyways, like I said, yeah, we definitely do have some pretty heavy snow that's continuing. This thing is still not over yet. We still got a bit of activity to go through with this storm here. I mean, we're still going to be snowing for quite a while here. We're actually going to hop over to models real quickly. Let's just remove everything on this panel. We're going to pull up the HRRR. We're going to look at the latest run just to kind of see what we're looking at here whenever it comes to the timing and when everything should be out of the country and all. So if we hop over to HRRR, we'll look at the let's see, is the latest. Okay, the latest model is out. So our latest run is out. So we'll just use that. But anyways, so I'll just let you guys know what time we're looking at here. So this is specifically for 11 p.m., which is right now. So this is pretty much what we're seeing. Seems like the snow is lightening up a little bit up in South Carolina, central, eastern North Carolina, definitely still snowing pretty good. Virginia Beach area here as well. So then we go into midnight. You can see maybe it's starting to kind of pull away from areas like Virginia Beach over the next couple of hours. We approach 4 a.m. You can still see maybe some snow along the eastern and southern North Carolina. And maybe central and eastern South Carolina at this point. As we approach 6 a.m., it definitely really starts to thin up quite a bit. And not until we approach pretty much 8, maybe 9 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning, that's when all the snow should be, just off the coast here for the most part. But at that point, there could be some snowfall, occurring up here in eastern Massachusetts. We actually do have some winter weather advisories. I'll get to that here in one second. Whenever it comes to it here, I mean, you can see that we do have some of that snow starting pretty early. You guys are barely going to get grazed by it, and, you're probably just going to get a little bit of light snow for a couple of hours. But, it's not going to be anything massive. But look at this thing. I mean, this thing is just quite a beast of a storm here. This thing is unbelievable. Yeah, but so still going to be snowing for several hours here. But, once again, this thing should be out by basically 8, maybe 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning here. And, of course, maybe a little bit of snow for eastern Massachusetts. But then, our neighbors up north here, out there in Nova Scotia, we're actually going to be getting a lot of snow out here, which we'll pull it up here in a second. We'll pull up the totals and stuff. But yeah, we got to look out there for some of those regions there as well. So definitely is a still kicking. Still got a little bit of time here on this one. But anyways, so that's that. So let me actually bring up the Kashira ratio, which is the snow accumulations here. So let's pull up the total snow. We're going to hop to the American GFS here, regarding the snowfall potential. So with this particular storm, seems like the latest GFS run doesn't nearly show as much snow for Nova Scotia as previously. It's weird. There's been a really big change here in the models. So according to the GFS model, you can see that, I mean, central western Nova Scotia, not even really an inch, maybe upwards of an inch or so in some spots. But then you got eastern Nova Scotia up towards the top, up by like Sydney, which we could be seeing possibly about a foot. Lewisburg is about 13 inches or so. Definitely not nearly as significant as it was earlier. Then, of course, we have like Newfoundland, southern Newfoundland by St. John's could be seeing a pretty good amount of snowfall out here as well. Then, of course, we have, comparing to the Euro model, the ECMWF, kind of the same thing. It seems like it's really lightened on the accumulations down in the western and central side of Nova Scotia, with a lot of the eastern side having a good shot of over 12 inches, which I find really weird. I mean, because we go back a couple of model runs, we go back like what? Let's actually go back to the run of yesterday before, and look at this. Look at the total difference that we have here. I mean, this showed like pretty much the entire southern, central, and eastern side of the the area here in Nova Scotia getting well over a foot, and some areas even more than that. So comparing from this time yesterday to this time now, there's a big difference you can see here, which that's a really important reason why I tell you guys. I mean, I don't really trust totals even till the day before, basically, which is why it's important not to look at Snowfall totals too early because they can give you some false readings here. I mean, the crazy thing is that we even had agreement with the not just the euro, but also the American GFS there too, which is pretty different. Pretty interesting here. So here's the latest Canadian model run here, kind of showing the same thing. So at this point in time, it looks like the totals have definitely dropped quite a bit for western and portions of central Nova Scotia. So that's definitely some good news for you guys. All right, so that is that. I do want to pull up the current wind here. Let's pull up our wind speed here. Bring up our barbs too. That way we can kind of see what right now the estimated winds are at right now. So this is RTMA. This is basically just taking current observations from weather stations, satellite imagery, and stuff like that, and of course, kind of filling in the voids with model data. But if we pull up the wind barbs here, I mean, definitely getting quite a bit of of some heavy winds still ongoing up here in eastern North Carolina. We actually hop over to current reports. Here's current radar up in eastern North Carolina. And you can actually see, I mean, we do have some pretty heavy gusts still ongoing here, good 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts and stuff like that going on out there. So, I mean, it's certainly going pretty good. I do want to pull up some live cameras here with you guys, which I think we're going to do that now. I do have some Virginia cameras. We're actually going to take a look over here by Virginia Beach, which another thing I just remembered is that North Carolina, I don't know if I told you. I told you guys this earlier, but I don't know if I said it in this stream. I don't think I did. But yeah, North Carolina's under a total state of emergency, because of this winter storm here. Anyway, so here's a few cameras. We got some out by Virginia Beach. This is out by Reedtown specifically. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Here, let's bring you guys over here. Wow, dude, those roads look pretty nasty. And it looks like the stuff is blowing around a bit. Whenever that snowplow just came through, or whatever vehicle that was, like, it looked like it was very dusty, which, this is like pure snow. Because essentially what's going on here is, in the lower to upper atmosphere, from the ground to way up in the sky, it is all below freezing. There is not a single point in the atmosphere in which the temperature goes above freezing or right towards that freezing point. It's all below freezing, keeping it a light powdery type snow. Once you start having some warm layers and some other events like the last snowstorm we had with the big ice storm and stuff, in the lower atmosphere, a couple thousand feet up in the air, while the surface was well below freezing, a couple thousand feet up, the temperatures were at freezing and slightly above, which, essentially made it to where, we do have a little bit of melting going on here. But anyways, that's a camera up there by Virginia Beach. We'll pull up another one. That's out by Reedtown. Let me pull up. Do we have any, like, right near the coast, maybe? I don't know if we have any, like, on the coast. Here's one that's not too far. Ooh, we got somebody on the side of the road. Hopefully they're not stranded. It's another reason why it's really not a good idea to go out during this time. Yeah, it looks like those... Wow, look at that camera shake. Goodness. Yeah, it definitely looks a little aggressive. Yeah, would avoid travels if possible. I mean, because it's pretty dangerous to be out there. Yeah, you don't want to get stranded out in that either. That's not very good. Here, let's try maybe this northern camera here. Oh, yeah, this one really shows how bad the roads are. I mean, you can't even see the blacktop here. It is literally just all white. That is an intersection here. That is actually crazy. That is crazy. I mean, the entire road there, I mean, it just looks like a ghost town. The entire road is just covered. Maybe this southern camera. Oop. I don't even know what I just did there, but yeah, here's another road. Got some cars coming up on the top left and also here too. Still quite a bit of people out, which, like I said, I wouldn't recommend this. I mean, unless it's absolutely necessary. Let's see. OG says, I'm in Virginia Beach. It was snowing sideways for a few hours. Now it looks like a heavy band is moving north towards us again. Wow. Be careful out there, my friend. Yeah, you guys are definitely getting it pretty good. Pretty good here. Here's one that's right on the border. of North. This is right on the state line of North and South Carolina. Yeah, like Southeast Virginia and Eastern North Carolina. They got it the hardest, which was to be expected. I mean, you guys definitely got a really good amount. I wish I had some live cams up in North Carolina, but unfortunately, ours are a little bit iffy. Here, let's check up on Richmond here. I know Richmond was in the winter weather advisories. They were not expected to get a whole lot of snow though. See, that one's offline. Maybe try the one under that. Yeah, it doesn't look like that one wants to load either. Let me try this one here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, so it looks like there's a little bit of snow, but this could honestly be partially from that last snowstorm we got, because I'm pretty sure these areas did get a little bit of like sleet and stuff too, and maybe a little bit of snow from not this winter storm, but from the last one that we tracked. So that could be a little bit of cross contamination between the two storms. So, meanwhile down south, by like Virginia Beach and stuff like that, they didn't really get much snow from what I remember with the last storm here. So, here's another camera here. Why does this look like a horror movie setting? I ain't gonna lie, this looks very ominous. Very ominous. Official says, could I talk about the Jacksonville, North Carolina area? These flakes are so small here, it looks more like fog. Yeah, I can pull it up for you. Here, let me hop back to my other radar. We'll keep this camera up for you guys, though, so you guys can see that. All right, anyways, let me pull up Jacksonville. All right, so let's see. You're in a winter storm warning between 3 and 6. So this is a additional accumulation between 3 and 6 more inches. In effect until 4 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. When was this updated, though? That's what I want to know. Updated 4 hours ago. Okay, there you go. So, with that being said, so this was obviously 4 hours ago, and they said 3 to 6 inches then. So you're probably going to see a little bit less than 3 to 6 inches from now on, So that probably some of that has already fallen. I mean, definitely, because you guys are getting it pretty good. Now, you said those flakes were pretty small. I kind of find that hard to believe. I mean, considering how heavy the echo returns are on the radar out by Newport. What is this showing? Yeah, this is showing like 23 dBz. I mean, it's kind of moderate snowfall. It looks like we do have a pretty heavy band to the west out there. Between I'm just gonna go with Pink Hill because I don't know. I have no idea how you even say that one. Between Pink Hill and Richland, so we have a little bit of a stronger band going on out there. I mean, I could definitely see maybe a little bit of a smaller flakes in between or something like that, but definitely do got some heavy bands still kind of pushing through that area. Hald says Middleburg, Florida has not been bad. Let's see. Let me figure out where Middleburg, Florida is. Here, meanwhile, I'll show you guys back over here to the creepy cam. Okay, so you're up in, you're up in northern. Yeah, we're going to get real cold tonight. Like down into lower 20s, which I am not really looking forward to. But yeah, you're not supposed to get any snow or anything like that. We did actually get some snow in Florida today, though. Yeah, radars are clear. Yeah, we had a little bit out by the Panhandle. We were actually doing the stream earlier. We did pick up a little bit of snow out there. There was even a little bit out by Central Florida, too. But not much. Not much at all. And then down south is too warm still for any of that. Like right now, it's 34.3 degrees outside here in Lakeland where I'm at. Now here's the current radar view. You can see eastern North Carolina still getting absolutely hammered here. As you can see, we definitely do have some strong winds. For some buoy data, we have got 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts being reported from for some of these MEDAR stations. In which we have one on the bank out here by Hatteras, 40 knot wind barb showing 53 mile per hour wind gusts out there. So yeah, I mean that's about what we were expecting here. With this system, we were talking about 50, maybe 60 Worst case scenario, 70 mile per hour wind gusts out here, which, I mean, I'm sure that we've seen some stronger winds actually reported out there earlier today. Oh, wow. Speaking of, look at this one. So there's a buoy station, just offshore, as you can see. And it says the winds are north at 41 degrees, which winds, I believe this is going to 41. So from the southwest going to the north. No. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think here. In relation to the low, so here's the low pressure over here. So wind should be flowing kind of this way. Yeah, so okay, I see what's going on. So they're going from that 43 degrees. So they're going southeast in this case, or southwest, sorry. Anyways, but yeah, 60 mile per hour wind gusts from that there. Pressure 999 millibars. 1,002 millibars on that station. Out by Wilmington, let's see what we're at. 1,008. Yeah, so closer to the low there, you can see it. We get obviously a little bit lower. Yeah, the lowest one I see is 999. Let's see here. Terry says it's literally a blizzard here at my house in Jacksonville. Gotcha. Well, be careful out there, dude. Let's see. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that for the support. You live in Richlands. Gotcha. Yeah, it seems to be coming down pretty good out there. We actually just looked at that a minute ago. Very small, strange. I'm closer to Sneads Ferry, but still. Gotcha. Creepy cam. Yeah. There's something going on with this camera, man. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna leave it before it jump scares us or something. All right, let's go out here to the north a bit. This is up by Hill Point and Suffolk area. Yeah, roads look pretty bad. They do. I mean, you can still see a little bit of the blacktop, but still, it's still likely not anything any good. Let's see. Terry says the winds are pretty brutal here and snow flying everywhere. Yeah, I bet. Especially the snow being kind of light and fluffy too. It's making it really just kind of go all over the place. Let's see. Warmer in Seattle than most of Florida. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Yeah, the West isn't as cold. Believe it or not. I mean, a lot of the central eastern country is really cold. Like, here's the current temperature. This is the RTMA analysis. Kind of showing you these temps here. I mean, you can just see that the east is like shattering cold temperatures. I mean, just really, 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 really cold stuff. I could say really even more, but I figured you get the point. But yeah, the freezing point's approaching Orlando right now, which, I mean, yeah, it's 34 degrees here in Lakeland, which that's about right. We're getting close to it. It's slowly receding. Or what's the opposite of receding? Growing, maybe? I don't know. It's going down. You can see the freezing temps. So right here, the white line, that's your freezing marker. They're slowly but surely coming down. But yeah, it's 34 on the dot right now. 18.4 degree dew point, according to my station. This is going to be the coldest night, I think, in Florida. And obviously, there's no way for being for sure, but definitely the coldest so far. It is ridiculous. But yeah, up here in North Carolina, I mean, like the entire state here is in like the teens for the most part, except for those upper elevations up there by like the Smoky Mountains and stuff. We're actually in the single digits. Maybe even the negatives in some of those higher points there. Really cold. Really, really cold stuff. Anyways, all right, we're going to bring back up our radar so I can show you guys what everything looks like as of right now. So here's our current radar. Definitely still got some heavy snow going on. Here, we're going to move it to the latest frame. So this is where we stand right now. Should load here in 1 second. There we go. So yeah, definitely got some pretty heavy snow going on. It looks like that dry air gap that we had for central North Carolina has finally gone away. We finally got some snow filling in that void. Like I said, Raleigh, Durham, Sanford, and Fayetteville. You guys are seeing some snow, at this point in time. We got Greenville, Jacksonville, just a lot of eastern North Carolina getting it pretty good. And you can see these darker blues. that is where we have the heavier snow. So the lighter blues, the light blue indicates light snow. The medium color blue, like right in here, up by Raleigh, kind of indicates medium rates and medium size snow. And then of course we have the dark blue showing you where the heavy stuff is. And we have a couple of these bands. It looks like out there by like Kingston, Greenville, Washington. Some of those areas are really seeing some pretty heavy stuff here overall. Let's see here. Jerry says I'm in LA and it was in the 80s here today. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see here. Camera looks scary. Yeah, it did look a little different, did it? Ponderosa says I'm in the mountains of North Carolina on vacation. It's -5. You call that a vacation? No. Let's see. Definitely the coldest it's ever been in Florida in years. Yeah, it certainly has. This is my 4th winter down in Florida. I've lived here pushing 3 years. The last 3 winters I was here, and the previous year before that, my brother lives down here, and I stayed with him the entire winter. So this is my 4th winter here, and out of all 4 of those years, I've never seen it get this cold. I mean, 4 years isn't a whole lot, but this is pretty rare, for Florida to get these cold of temperatures. And like I said, with everybody else up north being like, oh, well, that's nothing, 22 degrees. Oh, come on, that's a warm day up here. I get it for you guys, but like, you guys are going crazy over your like 10 degrees or whatever, which I mean, yeah, it's super cold, don't get me wrong. But for us, this is like our version of the 10 degrees and stuff like that. So. See snow skiing. Oh, snow skiing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. You saved yourself there. That's valid. That's valid. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I mean it's definitely still coming down pretty good. We're gonna hop back to the future radar. I do want to pull up the HRRR, the HER model. We're gonna look at it, see what the latest timing is with everything. Like I said, we still have a couple of hours, obviously, or several hours before the system finally pushes all the way through. But if I bring up the precip type reflectivity here, so current time right now, let's see here, it is 12 here. So I mean it's almost midnight at this point. So this is where the models have us projected at midnight. This is the latest 03 UTC run. So fresh off the press, brand new run from the HRRR, and so at midnight. Still going to be seeing some snow in central, eastern, South Carolina. Same thing for central, eastern, North Carolina for the most part. Southeast Virginia by Virginia Beach, still likely seeing a little bit of snow at this point in time here, but that's pretty much it for the most part. It does look like we might even have a little bit of snow showers up in like northern Minnesota and stuff like that. But anyways, so that's 12 a.m. That's for midnight tonight, which is in like 19 minutes. Anyway, so we work our way down in time. We'll go to 4 a.m. So this is 4 a.m. here. So at this point in time, the snow is pulling out of central North Carolina. Still snowing, more than likely for southern and eastern North Carolina at this point. Central eastern South Carolina, like Myrtle Beach, definitely still likely seeing some snow at this point in time. So then we push our way over here to right around 7 o'clock a.m. Now at 7, snow is really starting to pull out of the country for the most part. Still likely getting maybe a little bit of coastal snow out by Myrtle Beach still. Portions in eastern North Carolina, portions of eastern South Carolina here too. But everything should be out of the country by pretty much maybe 8, 9, maybe 10 o'clock or so. So definitely is that. Oh my goodness, dude. We got Jenny coming in with a $20 super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Jenny. Big shout out goes to you, Jenny. Thank you so much for the 20. I know it's Jeannie. It's not Jenny, to everybody who's wondering. I know I figured that out a long time ago, but Jenny has been here forever. I've called Jenny or Jenny since the beginning of time, basically. So once again, that's why I'm saying Jenny instead. But thank you so much, Jenny. I really appreciate it. Huge shout out. If you guys could, please give Jenny a big thank you. Be much appreciated, my friend. Thank you so much for that. That really helps out a ton. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, it should be out by pretty much 10 a.m. or so tomorrow morning. But at that point, we still could be having a little bit of snow up here in eastern Massachusetts, like Nantucket, possibly seeing a little bit of snowfall here as well. Let's see here. Jerry says, is the system going to head up to the East Coast, or will be heading out to sea? It'll be mostly heading out to sea. And, like we mentioned here, you can see that maybe a little bit of snow could briefly skim by eastern Massachusetts. If I was to hop back over to this here, I'll show you. We actually do have ourselves some winter weather advisories in effect. So believe it or not, this does not include Nantucket. So that's that. So there is no advisories or anything like that out there, but we do have some out by the far eastern side of Massachusetts, out by like Cape Cod. So like Provincetown. Is there there's a town called Sandwich? It's making me hungry. Anyways, we got Sandwich. Let's see, Orleans. We have Provincetown, like we mentioned, Falmouth. Let's see here, Marshfield. Yeah, some of those areas are in that winter weather advisory. Also down here towards Edgartown, West Tisbury, and Chilmark. So, anyways, right back at you, Jenny. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Let's see. I'm just hoping it doesn't barrel over the North Atlantic. Yeah, so there is going to be a little bit of problems, like we were just talking about a little bit ago, for like our friends up north in Nova Scotia. I mean, you guys are probably going to be getting some pretty good impacts out there, out by Nova Scotia, which some of that's going to really start to pop off here. Sometime it looks like later tomorrow morning. That's when you guys are going to start getting it. The like we mentioned here, the totals have drastically changed. I mean, dramatically changed here. Like the track has shifted a lot further south. So this is where the models are at now, right? So this is the 0 UTC run from today. Okay, so this is the brand new run that we have. And you can see, as that storm kind of just scrapes under Nova Scotia, we really don't see a whole lot, except for maybe the eastern northern side of Nova Scotia. But the weird thing is, if we hop back to the 0 Zulu from yesterday, so 24 hours ago, look at how different they are. You see that? So GFS has it going way up into Nova Scotia. So that's a matter of a day. And you see how crazy that those, outcomes are, and GFS a day ago showed a lot more snow, and now it shows hardly any for like areas in western Nova Scotia Central, which, just really goes to tell you guys, I mean, it's like, these totals, they can still definitely, change last minute. And, that's why I say it's really important to be careful with trusting totals. I mean, even up to the event can be a little iffy. You also got to remember, models, they're not perfect. They're used as guidance to help us understand what it could look like, but, there is no perfect model out there that'll always get it right. I wish there was, but that'd be pretty nice. But anyways, let's see here. But yeah, so that is what we're dealing with here. So you're talking about Scotland, to be honest. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. That definitely does. Let's see here. Rose said, in Virginia Beach, I lost power here for about an hour. Wow. So the snow is blown up on the back deck with, which has 12-foot overhead, which is blowing like crazy. Goodness. Or 12-foot overhead. Gotcha. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is pretty light too, isn't it? Like, can you guys confirm that this is like the light powdery type stuff? Which, I mean, according to the way that the soundings and the models were presenting it, it seems like it's the powdery type stuff. It seems like it's pretty much the stuff that's bad for making snowballs, essentially. So, I mean, that's what the models were saying. Just simply because the temperatures are going to be all below freezing from the ground level to upper atmosphere. Which I'll pull up a sounding right here to kind of show you, what we're talking about here. So here's your graph. So this is called a skew T chart, right? So the higher you go up on the graph, the higher altitude you go. Temperature is on the x-axis, altitude's on the y-axis, right? So then you have your 32-degree line, which is slanted. It's not up and down. It's at an angle. And the red indicates your temperature for that specific altitude. So, I mean, you can see all the red is just on the left of that 32-degree line, which is in freezing temperature territory. So, yeah, definitely everything's all below freezing, which, just keeps it in pure, fluffy snow. Like I said, once you start to have like a warm layer, maybe in the lower atmosphere, like the last system we had, that'll start to melt a little bit, and it tends to cling together better with other snowflakes and stuff. Let's see here. Stay safe in Nova Scotia. Absolutely. Real Time says, hey, Andy, reporting from Augusta. See, the mayor has declared a state of emergency for the whole county. See, shut down due to black ice and ground blizzards are happening. Wow, that's crazy. Well, be careful out there, my friend. Yeah, Haley, it's crazy, huh? Rose says the canceled church services for Church Martin roads are bad. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of places are going to be, closing down because of all this. Absolutely. But anyway, so that's that. But once again, everybody, everything should be pushing out here pretty much by later tomorrow morning. So, we still do got a little bit of time on this system, and why I really wanted to do some coverage with you guys here. We've been kind of on and off coverage. We did some late last night at like 3 or 4 in the morning, I think we did. And then we did some earlier this afternoon, about 3, 4 in the afternoon. And then now we're hopping back on here for a little bit for you guys, which we've been streaming already 45 minutes. That's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Anyways, let's hop back to cams, y'all. We're going to take a peek back at these cameras. We're going to see what's going on now in these areas. It's obviously a lot better to have cameras so you can kind of see what is going on. Instead of hearing about everything, you can see everything, too. So, all right, here's up in Virginia Beach. I'm going to get to the closest camera to the coast we can find. We do got that one over there. I don't think there's any on this corner here now. There is this one. Oh, and it's offline. All right, well, that's just lovely. Here's this one. I can't tell if that's like some salty sand stuff that's on the ground or if that's snow. I think that's snow. It's gotta be. Gotta be snow. Here, let's try maybe the other one on the other side of the bridge. Oh, and it's offline. Perfect. See, maybe this one. Yeah, some of these don't like loading. Some of them just don't simply work at all. Yeah, it looks like traffic is pretty bad in some of these areas. Let me try maybe one of these heavy. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. That ice is actually in the Lindsay. Oh, look, there's a snowplow that just went by. Actually, a couple of them are going by here. We have a whole fleet of snowplows. Oh my goodness, there's one over there too. Goodness. It's a convoy of snowplows if I've ever seen one. There's another one. Oh, okay, there's a car there. Okay, we broke up the convoy a little bit. Dude. That was like, what, 5 snowplows back to back? That's pretty crazy. I mean, I expected to see a lot of them, but not like one after another like that. Oh, here's another one. There's a lot of utility trucks going by. I thought those were snowplows for a minute. I genuinely wonder. Oh, there goes one right there. I genuinely wonder how many snowplows are out. There's another one right there. There's another one. Are we on the... Hold on a minute. Are we on the... Oh, we're on this one. So maybe they'll come through here. Let's see here. Try the boardwalk. Where's that at? Is that up by... Is that far eastern? Like over here, maybe? Is this boardwalk? It's got to be, right? Oh, yeah, there's boardwalk. Unfortunately, the only closest camera we have is on Laskin Road, which, yeah, we actually looked at this one a little bit ago. It was completely blank, or just completely snowed over. Let's see if I upgrade my radar overall. What's wrong with my radar? I didn't think there's nothing wrong with my radar branding. Overall stream quality. What, y'all think my stream quality's bad or something? I mean, I think we got some pretty good radars here, man. I don't know. We got GR2. We got Weatherwise. We got, what else we got? We got Augusero. I don't know, man. I think we have some pretty cool radars. We've got some pretty good ones. Got that NextRad 2 data. Ooh, it's the good stuff. Always the good stuff. Anyways, So actually, speaking of radar, we're going to hop back over the radar here. As you can see, we do have some pretty heavy bands still going through. Looks like we have one actually pushing towards Washington, North Carolina here. Let's see, Greenville. We have Is it Bullaville? I have no idea how you said it. Out by Pink Hill and Richland. Somebody said they were in Pink Hill, I think. I'm pretty sure. Which, yeah, they were saying it was coming down pretty good, which can confirm. Definitely can confirm on radar. We did have that report of, let's say, here's a new report coming in of 58 mile per hour winds on that buoy. Wind gusts, I should say. Wind gusts. Sustained here, what did it say? 47? Yeah, so 41 knots sustained, gusting to 52 knots, which is 47 sustained gust, or 47 miles an hour sustained, gusting to 60 miles per hour overall. See, our roads are completely iced and snowed over as well. Yeah, I bet. You know, for some of these areas here, I mean, we got a little bit of snow from that last system. You know, that crazy long storm that we covered. What was it, last week? Yeah, that one was something else, and it just kind of added on to some of those areas. I think like Richmond. I want to say Richmond had some snow, maybe. With that last storm, I definitely know there was a lot of sleet out there, but I don't remember specifically if they started to snow, ended in sleet. I know my dad up in Northern Virginia, he, you know, up there in Prince William County, he had a lot of snow to start, and then it turned into a lot of sleet, you know, from that last storm. Not this one. But thankfully, like I mentioned on this one, you know, it's a lot calmer from the ice and stuff. I mean, it's still heavy in snow, of course, but it's calmer in the ice category, you know, and freezing rain and sleet. There isn't a whole lot of it on this storm here. It's mostly just rain to snow. But all right, let's hop back over to cams. Really liking these cams here. So look at this. It is just absolutely covered over here on this camera. This is the one that was closest to the boardwalk of Virginia Beach. We do have another one here on Interstate, what is that, 264? Yeah, 264 here, right at an intersection. They look wet, but that's the problem, is temperature right now out here is like really cold. So that's black ice right there. And one thing is, too, y'all, is that bridges, they cool down a lot faster than, say, normal roadways. Now, all of this is black ice at this point, but I'm just saying that, you know, the wind can go under the bridges, they can go over, which cools this down a lot quicker. Meanwhile, the ground, you know, it can only flow on top. But yeah, like I said, it's all bad. It's all really bad stuff. All right, so that's out there. Maybe we'll try this one over here. This one's out by Oceana Boulevard. Yeah, same thing pretty much. I mean, the roads are covered, and they're definitely going to be pretty bad for probably a day or so, a couple of days probably. So like I said, don't travel, and you know, unless you absolutely must. Okay, I would definitely avoid traveling if you can. Like, yeah, I mean, here's those temperatures out there. You know, we were just looking at Virginia Beach by the boardwalk. You know, right now it's 19 degrees out there. So all of that, what looked to be water, is ice. That's the big misconception, is a lot of people think it looks wet and it is water, but that's not true. You know, I mean, it feels closer to like 32, 33 degrees, then maybe some of it could be water, but like I said, with the temperatures being 19 and it looking shiny like that, that's straight up black ice. So, just want to let y'all know on that. Oh my goodness, it's 33.3 degrees here where I'm at in Central Florida now. It is cooling down fast. Dew point is 15.4 degrees. It's gonna be a cold night, y'all. I'm not looking forward to this. Got the heat cranking up tonight, I tell you. All right, let's bring up current radar. We'll hop back to RTMA. We'll pull up our, what is it? Oh, sorry, not RTMA, MRMS. Here we go. That's right. Precip type. So here's our current radar whenever this decides it wants to load. So definitely still coming down pretty good, especially central, eastern North Carolina here. We do got some pretty heavy bands out by areas just west of Jacksonville. We have Kingston, Greenville, Washington, Wilson, Goldsboro, Fayetteville, Lumberton, Fairmont, Whiteville. So it definitely is, coming down pretty good. Yeah, Virginia Beach still obviously getting a little bit of snow. It's weird because, like, you got all of Virginia, right? The entire state of Virginia. There's barely any snow going on except for, like, Virginia Beach. Which, I mean, we go over the last few hours. I mean, it's been pretty heavy over Virginia Beach. I mean, it looks like we had a little bit of snow, kind of coming and going up here in central, southern Virginia. A lot of that's starting to clear out, it looks, though. But, still, Virginia Beach still got some good snow going on here. Here, let's hop back over to models. So this is what it projects us in the future. So it looks like a lot of that Virginia Beach snow should probably start here, or sorry, probably should stop here within the next like 2, maybe 3 hours or so. So, anyways, Jason coming in here with a $5 super chat, my friend. Thank you so much, Jason. Saying hello, Andrew. Cool shades. What shades? Like curtains? But thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Saying cool shades. We live in Salt Lake City, Utah. We've only had 1/10 of an inch of snow in the washed Valley since October 2025. That's crazy. You've only seen 1/10 of an inch since October of last year. What? In Salt Lake City? To be honest with you, I don't really pay too much attention with the climate in Utah. But that sounds a little low. That sounds extremely low. Here, let me do something real fast. Here, let me hop over to here real quick. If I bring up pivotal weather and we hop over to snowfall analysis, we'll do observed snowfall here. So, okay. Ignore all these ads. Do not buy those products. we're just gonna cover those up for now. Anyways, if you're to go to seasonal snowfall analysis, oh yeah. By the way, I'm not denying you buy those totals. I hope you know that. I'm just looking just to see how everything looks over here. Yeah, it seems like northern Utah, like up in top right quadrant, so we have a pretty good amount of snow. But yeah, I do see so far this year, I mean, some areas haven't really seen much. Wow. Yeah, that's from this year, though. Not too sure. But anyways, once again, Jason, thank you so much, dude, for the $5. I appreciate it, my friend. Really appreciate it. Let's see here. GM says close to a foot in Mount Olive, North Carolina. Really? Wow. Yeah, there was a lot of people that were reporting, near and over a foot of snow here. We'll actually hop back to my GR2 panel here. So here's the latest totals. We do have a 5.5 inch report up by Carolina Shores. We don't have any from Moorhead. A little bit ago, we did have some pretty good amounts of accumulation, though. Out by Wilson, we have 10 inches reported. Do I still have my National Weather Service ones? I do. Here, let's bring those up instead. These ones are better. But yeah, I mean, look, some areas up 14 inches in Denton, North Carolina. Let's see, how much in Raleigh? I don't think Raleigh got that much. Yeah, because Raleigh had that little dry slot that we were looking at earlier. In between the two bands of snow, it was snow to the east, snow to the west, and then dry in the middle for a little bit. But now it's come back down. But it seems like mostly like 2 to 4 inches or so. It's fallen out by Raleigh, it seems. But yeah, east out by Greenville. Greenville's gotten a pretty good amount. We're seeing, a couple 10-inch reports, 2 11-inch reports, one that's 11.5 inches. I got 12 inches out by Minnesota Beach. I think that's how you say that, which is in eastern North Carolina. Yeah, I mean, we've definitely gotten quite a bit. How much in Hilton Head? Hilton Head got 2 inches. Oh my goodness. The reason I wonder is because I used to go to vacation here all the time at Hilton Head. So I bet that looks weird with snow out there. Because I've always, the only times I've been to Hilton Head, I mean, I've been there like pretty much that's a new word, every year for like the last, I don't know, like 10 years or so. I mean, I haven't been since like 21, but from then before it was like last 10 years. I mean, I went there all the time, every year. And I just remember it being hot and such a muggy place, kind of like Florida at some points, during the hottest month. And it's like, I couldn't imagine there being like inches of snow there. Couldn't imagine it. Never seen it snow there. Let's see here. Did it ever snow in Raleigh? Yeah, it did. It did. Raleigh did get, as of right now, about 2 to 4 inches on the ground per reports. And here, if I was to pull back up the current radar, the MRMS, I think it is still snowing pretty good out by Raleigh right now. Yep. So there you go. We're still seeing a little bit of snow out by Raleigh. Not anything super heavy, it doesn't look like. Maybe some light, moderate snow right now. It's real heavy, kind of east, southeast of Raleigh here for the most part. See, Overbuilt says, hi, Andy. We got snow in Kingston, Tennessee, but not a lot. Gotcha. Haley says you still have snow in Missouri. Gotcha. Yeah. Seems like a lot of that hasn't really had much time to melt, really, because it's been so darn cold lately that it's just whatever falls, like, literally can't even melt. I mean, the only thing that can melt it a little bit, other than it, with it being below freezing, is the sun's like direct radiation. Like the radiation from the sun directly can melt very slow amounts at a time, but crazy. Let's see. It's cold, very dark cold, but winter. Yeah, it's a really cold winter this year. Can I check on Chesterfield? Of course I can do that for you, Linda. Let me pull up Chesterfield, though. I need to kind of see where this is at here. I used to live in Virginia, but I wasn't too familiar with this area. I grew up in northern, so I'm used to more up here. Yeah, Chesterfield's actually under that winter weather advisory. Snow accumulations up to 1 inch, which I feel like a lot of y'all are done with your snow for the most part. Given where you're at, you can see a lot of the snow is basically to your south. Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of it is over with. So kind of what you got now is pretty much what you're going to be dealing with here, like altogether. Yeah, I mean, you're just south of Richmond here. If we hop back to models again, we'll pull up the HRRR again for y'all. So we'll do that, do precip type. So here's the latest run. So yeah, so you're right in. Oh, I should probably switch over. There you go. So you're right here. So there's Chesterfield. So we go south, or we go down in time. You can see that snow line just kind of pushes further south, so it kind of leaves your area. But yeah, I don't think you're going to be getting any more snow. If any, not much. That's funny, Kim. Let's see here. Decent snowfall rates and bands. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have some pretty good bands still going on up there in eastern North Carolina. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a little bit for some areas before a lot of this does melt. For North Carolina, though, I mean, it shouldn't take as long, because I feel like it'd be a little bit more warmer up here than, say, like the Ohio Valley, particularly. We got that last storm here, drove quite a bit of snow up through the Northeast and stuff, which, in the forecast here, I mean, I'll go ahead and bring up those temperatures here soon. Like if we pull up the GFS, we'll look at our 2 meter temperature, 6 feet temp. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to load up my color map I have here, the neon, the good old neon. But what I'm going to do here is on the 32-degree marker, we're going to make it white. So you can see that's where the freezing point is, okay? So we work our way throughout time, and you can see that, yeah, so areas up in North Carolina are going to be breaking that freezing point more than likely. pretty soon. It's gonna be pretty cold tonight. Tomorrow we should mostly probably still be freezing. Maybe some areas could maybe get a little bit above freezing. Another cold night. Following the afternoon of Monday, we might have a little bit of above freezing temps, according to GFS here. But then the cold will probably come back. Is there really another cool down? Oh, are you kidding me? What is this? This is between forecast hour 100 and 150. So that's. Are you kidding me? There's another one. Yeah, that's within reasonable time too. Given that it's within 100 to 150 hours out, which I wouldn't like to go any further than that. Let me look at Euro. Let's see what Euro says here. I need comparison with the models, honestly. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of there actually. So another blast of cold air is really going to be working its way down here, which how cold could it get? Oh yeah, real cold stuff. It doesn't end, does it? I mean, this is going to be like this has got to be like the coldest winter in the last 10 years for the US. I mean, seriously, this is I really do not remember it being this cold in years. I mean, especially for the mid-Atlantic, For the mid-Atlantic, this is one of the coldest years in like a long in a long time. Wild stuff. All right, let's look at current winds here. We're going to bring up our RTMA analysis wind speeds. Still likely pretty windy out there, yeah. So we are definitely seeing some strong winds still up in eastern North Carolina, especially out there by the banks here. Likely still gusting 40, 50 miles an hour or so. Latest observation did show a 58 mile an hour wind gust just off the eastern, eastern banks here, which we did have a 50 here. Let's bring you guys over here for a minute. So current radar and analysis and stuff. So this shows us this station here. This is as of 11:18 p.m. So this is a little bit under an hour ago. Gusting still 52 miles per hour. We got another station to the north here, gusting 42 as of 11:18 as well. 11:30 p.m. This one's gusting 43 near Morehead City, just southeast of Morehead City here. We do have one in Morehead City. 33 on that one. Yeah, I mean, it's still definitely getting pretty windy out there. I mean, it's still gusting pretty good. But, still got some real heavy winds out here. Still, really coming down with the snow still. I mean, she ain't stopping yet. Like I said, we still have several hours left on this storm here. Like I said, it's not until later morning tomorrow is when everything should be out of North Carolina. Let's see. Overbuilt says, Andy, I was a little kid in 1986. It snowed 2 inches or so in Wartburg, Tennessee, April 2nd. That's weird. April 2nd was my birthday. Is my birthday. I didn't change my birthday. Oh my goodness. No, it's that's when I was born, on April 2nd, so that's weird you said that. But yeah, April's pretty, I mean, for April and being in Tennessee, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I do remember it snowing on Halloween one time when I was up in Northern Virginia. 1993 was the biggest snow you've seen. It got 30 inches. Wow. The biggest snow I've seen was in Northern Virginia in 2016. That was a crazy storm. If y'all are weather nerds like me, look up Winter Storm Jonas 2016. That was a big storm. That was crazy. There was another one back in 2010. They called it Snowmageddon. It was for the DC area. I was a kid. I mean, I was only 8 years old at that point. But that was a pretty good one too, from what I remember. Absolutely. Sister's birthday is on April 3rd. Oh, gotcha. Day after mine. I actually knew somebody who had the same year, which I was born in 2002, was born on April 1st. And I was born the day after on April 2nd, which I thought was pretty crazy. I was supposed to be an April Fool's child. That wouldn't have gone good for me at all, throughout life. Like, I could just imagine the April Fool's pranks on a birth. That would be terrible. Moment of silence for our folks that actually have April 1st birthdays. That would be. I don't know, man. I don't know. Devin says still a foot on the ground here at Pittsburgh. I don't see us getting above freezing anytime soon. Yeah, for you guys in Pittsburgh, up in there in the Northeast, Pennsylvania, probably going to be a while, especially with that other blast of cold air that it looks like. That we could get out there. See, D says in Denver, 1982, whatever, 4 foot. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see here. Rochi says, "Hey Andrew, I hope all is well." Right back at you, buddy. Let's see. Could I check on the winds for a zip code for today, please? Of course. Let me pull up your area real quickly. Here, let's hop back here, and we'll pull up and see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, you're up in you're up by DC. Gotcha. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna hop down to models again. We're gonna take a look at these winds. Bring up our wind gusts here, which. I mean, honestly, at this point, we're probably seeing some of the heaviest of the totals, or heaviest of the winds out there. So this is the 0.4. Let's go back to the 0 Zulu HRRR here, which seems like some of the strongest winds are going to be going through here, I mean, within the next couple of hours. You could see maybe 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts out there. I mean, it could be definitely a little bit windy here. Let me put on my wind advisories here, actually. Let's see, wind and air. There should be quite a bit of wind advisories out here, maybe. High wind watch. We'll turn on high wind warnings, too. Believe it or not, you're not under that. But we do have a couple of these wind advisories in effect. Yeah, they're even in Florida, too. We got some pretty strong winds out here in Central Florida earlier. Let's see here. Kim says I should look up the UK beast from the east. Absolutely awful. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Let's see. I got you, Haley. Got you. But anyways, y'all, like I mentioned, if y'all have any questions or any comments or anything, be sure to let us know in the chat. Be more than happy to help y'all. Here we go. We got some new reports coming through, actually. Let me pause that. So, okay, so this is out by Surf City, North Carolina here. This is between Morehead City and Wilmington, basically. Which, let's see. Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, that's just slightly east of Wilmington. For some reason, I thought, like, Holden Beach area was Wilmington area. Kind of. But, yeah, east of Wilmington, out by Surf City, we have reports of about 7.5 inches in Onslow County, North Carolina. Pretty good. Yeah, we still got that 10-inch report out by Wilson. I remember Must be a Castaway. Out by Wilson with the 10 inches. The 10 inches of snow. So, yeah, it got pretty heavy in some spots. It really did. Definitely did. And, like I said, it's not really lighting up either. I mean, we still got some of these heavy bands, coming ashore here, as you can see. I mean, it's still going. Yeah, for some of these eastern banks, the temperatures are still they're actually a little bit too warm, which is preventing some of these areas from getting snow. But as the system rolls forward, as we go down in time, models actually showed some of the eastern banks actually getting, even a bit of snowfall there too. Not much, but a little bit. All right. Let's see, any September kids in the house? No. April. April was when I was put on this earth. Earth. EARF. Earth. All right, let me here, we'll bring back up our. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? I don't even know what I'm gonna do. What was I gonna do? I forgot. Models. That's right. I want to look at the totals and stuff. I knew I was thinking of something, but I just had a moment where it's like my brain just completely forget what it's doing. Anyways, yeah, let's look at the totals here. We'll do Kashira because we were basically all well below freezing at this point. So we'll have the new run here. showing like additional accumulations that we could be seeing here. Okay, so this is the HER model. I mean, yeah, we could definitely still pick up a decent amount of snow, I think, up in eastern North Carolina. I mean, there's some areas that we could still see maybe 4 to wouldn't say 4 to 8. I'd say more of like 4 to 6 maybe. Locally higher amounts possible here. Let's see what the weather service says on that. Jacksonville. So this was updated 5 hours ago. Still 3 to 6 inches possible. Yeah, you got to take into consideration that that was updated 5 hours ago. So I'm sure a lot of that's already kind of fallen here. But I mean, it ain't going to end anytime soon out by Jacksonville. It doesn't look like. Which the models, they still continue to have it snowing up until like, what was I say, like 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, probably anywhere from 6 to 8 a.m. or so. Everything should be off. And then, like we mentioned, up in eastern Massachusetts, we could maybe get a little bit of snow out of the system. So, yeah, might get a little bit out there. Like I said, Nantucket, eastern Massachusetts could get a little bit by Provincetown, maybe Yarmouth. That's where we actually do have those winter weather advisories in effect here. Let's see, what weather advisories? Yeah, we also have a wind advisory in effect for Provincetown, Brewster, Orleans, Sandwich, Edgartown. But believe it or not, not Nantucket. That's what I don't understand. Nantucket's closer to this. Maybe their tolerance is different. I don't know. Maybe they're just built different over in Nantucket. I don't understand. Let's see. Sure hope this winter weather is no indication what hurricane season 2026 could bring this. Yeah, absolutely. It's been a real cold winter. Let's see, East Coast specifically, Mid-Atlantic. Thinking about moving to the area. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what happens, with the tropics. It's a little far out still. I mean, that is, let's see. Well, tropics start June 1st. That's the start of hurricane season. So from June 1st, it goes through, I think, was it November 30th? I think that's when hurricane season ends. But yeah, June 1st. I mean, we still have a... Actually, you know what? It is now officially February. First of all, happy February, everybody. Goodbye, January. So it's exactly, 4 months away? Let me add this up here. So it's February. So to March, April, May, June. So it's exactly 4 months away today is the beginning of hurricane season. Because, yeah, it starts June 1st. Let's see. Overbuilt says, where got the most snow and how much? I haven't been paying attention to the weather. Gotcha. So we actually pulled up the reports. I'll pull them back up for you. So these are the current snowfall reports here. I was looking at Hilton Head earlier. So when it comes to it, we do. So the biggest report I've seen is about, was it 14? Let's see, this one shows 16 inches. Wow, 16 inches. Holy cow. This is in Lexington, North Carolina. Got reports of 16 inches of snow. So I'm assuming that's probably the biggest one we have. Believe it or not, that's actually kind of out by West Central. Yeah, that's West Central North Carolina. Haley says, "What's with the lightning strikes on the radar map?" Good question. Yeah, we actually do have a couple of lightning strikes going on out there. Got a little bit of convection, it actually looks like. Maybe a little bit of storm activity. That is interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely supposed to be pretty active. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to bring up instability. We're going to look at the fuel for storms here. Let's do mixed layer cape. I think there's a little bit of instability. Yeah. So there is trace amounts of instability in the atmosphere, which is fuel for these storms here. Let me just grab a sounding real quick. Curious. Probably elevated, I would assume. Actually not. Wow. They're very shallow top storms, though. They're only up to like 6 kilometers, so they're pretty tiny. Yeah, I mean, we do got that lift, just from the storm itself. That low itself. I mean, really got a lot of lift there. I mean, there's Bit of storm activity actually going on out there. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, a lot of that will stay out, or all of that will stay away from the U.S. though. So, let's see here. Got a horrible feeling that the hurricane season is going to be crazy. Tornado season starts soon. It does. It does. Yeah. Really soon actually. Let's see. Usually March and April is whenever we really start to see a lot of activity here with like severe weather and stuff. Which, yeah, wow, that's only a couple months away. It took me a minute to. I mean, I didn't even really realize how close it is, but yeah, you're right. February is like the last like heavy month of winter weather. It's usually January and February, which is like the most aggressive months for winter weather. So we still got all this month to go through. I mean, there's still likely going to be some real heavy snows and stuff like that, but yeah, it'll be here before you know it. I mean, even during the winter months, there can be still some severe weather and stuff. So I mean, we don't gotta keep our guard down until then. From pretty much, pretty much now and on, we should definitely keep a close eye on. Which obviously we'll let you guys know if there's anything going on, like severe weather wise or anything like that. Y'all know we be here for you, and I'll let you know if anything happens. Anyways, y'all, let's hop over to cams. We're going to pull back up our cameras here. Whatever I did with them. I don't even remember what I did with them. Where'd I put my cameras? They're somewhere. How could I lose my cameras on my computer? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, it's over in this panel. Lost it for a minute. All right, so let's look at the cams now. I wish I really had some North Carolina cameras. That's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, let's check back up on Virginia Beach. Maybe we'll try different cameras here. We'll go out by Norfolk here, out by Portsmouth. There's a little bridge here. Maybe we can get some water cams. Is that a bridge? Oh, you know what that is? Wait, that's that underwater bridge out by Virginia Beach. I remember going one day I went. I can't even speak. Whenever I went to Virginia Beach one day, I remember going under this big old tunnel here, which it goes under the water, which is crazy. Well, obviously they're not going to have any snow under here, so why are we even looking? I think this is where the bridges come out. Oh, yeah, it still looks kind of wet, doesn't it? Probably from the tires of these vehicles going in and out. Probably brought some of the wetness with it. So, I mean, those are probably even freezing now. Wow. Yeah, even that's something we got to look out for. Maybe we'll go on a little bit further out here. Yeah, this one's up higher. You can kind of see. I think that goes down into the tunnel, right? Or is that back this way? Very interesting. Let's see here. Rochi says, I've been to the Outer Banks before. Those mountains are pretty tall by the ocean with all the dunes. Last time I went there, they raised them a few inches higher. Gotcha. You said mountains by the Outer Banks? I didn't think there was mountains out there. Is there? I don't know. I'm probably just losing my mind, dude. I've been up for a while, so my brain doesn't process things very well right now. So I apologize. Here's another one. Is this an underground tunnel too? Yeah, it is. That's right. So this is probably the one that I actually went over. Maybe. Yeah, these tunnels are pretty cool. Just imagine how much work that would be, But yeah, they definitely got some real heavy impacts out there for sure. Here, let's go back to the one by the boardwalk here. So you meant Sandhills? Yeah, I was like, last time I checked, they didn't put mountains up in the Outer Banks. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't sure if my mind was like double checking itself or whatever. Oh, y'all can't see this, but these there's a lot of traffic lights here. Maybe I can. There you go. You can kind of see them there. Maybe can I make this panel a little bit bigger? Maybe no. But yeah, you can see the traffic lights are kind of swinging there. But yeah, this camera doesn't look too good. Definitely looks like it's the roads are just covered in snow and ice here. Kind of look like mountains. So that's the sand dunes, right? That they make. They usually do that for like big storms and stuff that come through. But once again, everybody, if y'all have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll be more than happy to help you guys here. And like I said, if y'all are new to the channel, consider subscribing, maybe leaving a like. It'll be much, much appreciated. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here for a little bit. We've been actually live about an hour and a half here. So just wanted to hang out with y'all for a little bit. It is getting a little bit later. I might conclude coverage soon. I'm not sure. Remember you saying the waves could be anywhere from 9 to 14 feet high with the storm system. Did I say that? I don't remember saying that they're supposed to be that big. All I remember saying about the waves is that, given the wind speeds, they're going to be pretty high. I didn't remember what the exact wave heights. So you must have been getting that from somebody else. All right, y'all. Let's but anyways, yeah, we do have some pretty heavy wind gusts still ongoing over here. Even though the system, even though it's nighttime, remember it's still not over yet. Wow, the pressure actually dropped a bit more. On that buoy we were looking at earlier, showing 999 millibars. Now we're down to 997. All right, we're doing Andrew Dark mode now. But yeah, we apparently still have 60-mile-an-hour wind reports out there. Let's see here. Got a station 54-mile-per-hour wind gust as of 11:48 p.m. That's really not that long ago. Station pressure, or sea level pressure, MSLP, is 1,000.3 millibars. Oh my goodness, y'all! It is officially freezing outside where I'm at now. Y'all are probably like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Florida man reaches freezing temperatures. That's crazy. 31 here, got 1,003 millibars. Yeah. I think from the RTMA, we'll hop back over here. I think the RTMA showed, what was it, 988 millibars, I think it's at right now. Last time I checked, anyways. Let's see what we're at now. 977 now. Whoa, what? Dude. Oh, wait, this is... Okay, never mind. Hold on a minute. Never mind. For some reason, it loaded the HRRR, and I was like, is it really jumped from 988 to 970 something? Like, dude, there's no way. Okay. Anyways, let's pull up here. Let's remove this. Get this out of here. Yeah, let's pull up current RTMA. And we'll pull up our mean sea level pressure. Now we should be getting a more appropriate example of what it actually looks like right now. Yeah, there you go, 987. That's more like it. Let's see. Rochi says the pesky little Arctic air making it cold in Florida. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we've had a couple of days of freezing in Florida, but like, for it to literally be like in the lower mid 20s here, it's wild. It's wild. 14 in Kingston, Tennessee. Yeah, no, thank you. Let's see. Hey, in Spring Hill, Florida, what's the chances? What, the chances of what? Snow or? We ain't getting any more snow in Florida tonight. We had a little bit earlier, actually. We did have a little bit earlier. Here, let's hop on back up here. Spring Hill. So yeah, y'all are in that freeze warning. Y'all are going to be definitely getting likely some freezing temps, which I'm sure you're probably already freezing at this point. Which I can actually check that. Oh, snow. Yeah, we're not getting any snow. Nope. There was a lot of people talking about Gulf effect snow, which, I mean, there was a a small amount of flurries that was reported, but even then, it's like it wasn't much. They overhyped it, which that's why I wasn't really talking about it too much. Um, let's see here. Emailer says, if that was the tunnel connecting Hampton, Virginia to Norfolk, Virginia, drove round trip weekend in the late 90s. It was a real pain when it was down to one lane due to maintenance. Wow, I bet. I bet it was. Yeah, I was on that exact bridge. Me, my mom, and my brother one time went down to Virginia Beach, and we stayed there a couple of nights. It was for a weekend, and I remember going through that tunnel. It was pretty crazy. It was a long tunnel too, long tunnel. Let's see. Thanks. I can go to bed now. Yeah, you're good. Haley said you love severe weather more than snow. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't like severe weather because it's severe. I mean, I like a good storm, don't get me wrong, but like whenever it does damaging stuff, no. No, thank y'all. But anyways, folks, well, I'm probably going to roll off here pretty soon, you guys. Like I said, it's 12:30 in the morning. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be up for a while. If I am, I might hop back on maybe for a part 2. I don't know. I'm not going to promise anything, but more than likely, I'm probably just going to call it for the night. Just lay down, get some rest, and then we'll be back tomorrow just for another update stream. Tomorrow, we'll break down what's going to happen from this point forward. Obviously, we have the storm. This is the last stream on this particular storm. So once this thing rolls through, then tomorrow we'll talk about what the future holds for any more weather. As of now, I don't think we really have anything big scheduled for any more. I mean, I'll even take a quick little look and see where the models are at now. But I really don't think we have anything big coming up anytime soon other than this storm here that's pushing its way out right now. So let's see. So here's the HRRR. We need the long range. We'll pull up the GFS. Actually, we'll do a comparison of both Euro and the American GFS here. So the American model is on the left panel, and we'll have the European ECMWF model on the right panel here. So go ahead and load up that for y'all. There we go. So once again, Euro on the right, GFS on the left here. All right, so whoops, I loaded precipitation twice on the GFS here. That's why it wasn't showing. There we go. All right, so there, yeah, once again, we got Euro on the right, GFS on the left here. It's good for comparison. So anyways, so we work way further down in time. So that system rolls through. It honestly looks like it's going to be fairly clear for for a while. Looks like we might get a little bit of like lake effect snow. Is that lake effect snow? Actually, no. That's well, there is a little bit of lake effect snow likely included. Looks like a little frontal system kind of rolling through here. But anyway, so we got that little guy. Okay. We talked about this yesterday briefly, and it's still there on the models. I kind of forgot about it. So there has been a little bit of talk about maybe a bit of snow for bits of the Ohio Valley leading into the Mid-Atlantic here. There's been a little bit of talk about it. It doesn't appear to be anything major. As you can see, it's just like a little clipper. I mean, it could bring maybe a little bit of snow, but both models still support it. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this here, I think, last night, I'm pretty sure. So it was well over 24 hours ago last time we mentioned this, and it's still here. I mean, both models do suggest it, so maybe that's something to look into. This is going to be happening here for pretty much Tuesday, it looks like. Tuesday going into Wednesday, it should be out. So pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday. So just a bit of a heads up there. That could be something. All right. So then after that, that kind of rolls through. Looks like we have another bit of snow maybe coming down for Friday, but we're at this point we're starting to get a little bit farther down in the models. I don't want to look too far, but could be another bit of snow for the Ohio Valley. But in terms of like really big storm systems like this one here that we just had in the last storm, you don't really see anything other than that. But yeah, just keep an eye out for that little clipper system. I think that's going to be probably the next little thing we'll talk about here. Just a quick little clipper. it could bring some snow to like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland, maybe Pennsylvania, New Jersey. A little bit of snow. Anyways, y'all. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for now. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you guys could maybe leave a like on your way out, it'd be much appreciated. But you guys have a great night here. Before I roll off, I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to our donators here for today, which really, 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 really appreciate you guys once again for just help making this possible. It really helps us out a ton. So huge shout out goes to Roadster Jim once again, as well as Jenny and Jason. So Jenny, Jason, and Roadster Jim, thank you guys once again for all the kind love and support with the donations for today. I really appreciate you guys. So thank you all. And thank you everybody for joining and for hanging out here tonight. And, thank you for everybody who's liked, subscribed, and, just simply hanging out here. It's much appreciated. And I just want to go and say, everybody, thank you all for that. But all right, everybody, well, thank you all so much for stopping by. We'll see you guys here later on here for tomorrow, and y'all take care, have a great night, stay safe, most importantly. Definitely don't go out in this mess until it clears up a little bit. Yeah, definitely just wait a little bit. All right, anyways, see, Rose says thank you so much. I really enjoy your live feeds. Let's see, and for keeping us safe. Yeah, no problem. You're very welcome. Thank you, Overbuilt. Appreciate it. But all right, everybody, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Jenny, you're still here. We love you. Right back at you, Jenny. Thank you. I appreciate it. And all right, everybody, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. See ya in the next one.